You can support this podcast and get shows early and ad-free, as well as bonus episodes over at patreon.com/flashback64. Welcome to another episode of Flashback 64, the chronological Nintendo 64 podcast. I'm Gooey, joined as always by McKenna.
Hello.
And we're going into the future. We're going down some tubes. We're talking about AeroGauge today.
Flash forwarding.
Flash forwards, 64. And we've got a great set of guests with us today. From both the Time Extend and Silent Discographer podcast. We've got returning to the show, our good pal, Andrew Elmore. What's up, Andrew?
Howdy, howdy.
Always great to have you. Welcome back. And we are welcoming brand new guests, hopefully, future friend, Adam Ismail. Hey, Adam, how's it going?
Hey, I think either way we're future friends because we're going to be like blasting straight into the future with this game.
We're going to be in the future, dealing with all these geopolitical issues,
we'll be in the future, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, Adam, as a first-time guest on the show, one thing we like to do is just ask, what's your history with the Nintendo 64?
Yeah, so the N64 is an odd one for me. Growing up, I was very spoiled. I have two older brothers, and they're a lot older than me. So as a result of that, they had like the three main consoles at the time. Like from basically like practically the moment I was born, they had Saturn, N64, and PlayStation. And for me, like the two things in my life that I loved more than anything else from like the earliest age were cars and video games. So my favorite console was basically the one that had the best racing games. And growing up, I felt that the Saturn and the PlayStation were where it was at. Particularly the PlayStation, because, the PlayStation had like such a big library here in North America. So it wasn't until many years later that I kind of returned back to the N64 and said like, oh, this system actually has some pretty remarkable racing games on it. They're just like weird. They're like not the traditional racing game. They're focused more on like, you could do 4-player obviously on the N64, or they're focused on like, exploration, things of that nature. A lot of kart racers, for example. And so once I really like dove more, probably when I was like a teenager and stuff like that, like back into that library, I found a lot of stuff I liked. And, went back, and one of those games I revisited and played was AeroGauge, and we'll probably get to my feelings on that later. But yeah, it's a strange one.
Yeah, that's cool. You sent me you sent in our chat that we were all talking in like a photo of some N64 games you dug out of your collection, and it was all like these very, as you said, weird like racing games and stuff like that. And you said like, oh, this kind of weird collection, but I was like, this is actually like a cool collection to me, because like, you see a lot of people curate their favorite N64 games, and, no shade, but it's a lot of the games I would put on there, like Mario, Zelda or whatever, but it was cool to see like a curated like racing game collection like that. And so I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, the benefit, especially for a Nintendo system, of going back and getting old racing games is that for the most part, they're dirt cheap. Like my favorite thing to do whenever I go into any retro shop is count the number of MRC cartridges for sale. And one time I went in with a friend of Time Extend, Jason Lamp in New Jersey, and went to a store, and they had like they had 7 and they were all like $4 or something. And I was like, I should just buy all of these and give them away. And I almost did it.
Why not? Yeah.
Yeah. And I should just do that. And they're all probably still there. I could go back and pick them up again. So yeah.
That's one I see out a lot for sure. I mean, that, and then obviously you see a lot of like the sports game titles. And I kind of like that we have those. Like it's like both from the collecting perspective, because I'm trying to collect a lot of the games that we cover, but some I just can't justify purchasing like an actual physical copy. So it's like nice to like, oh, I'm gonna like, I don't know, there's something delightful about like I spent anywhere from $4 to $15 on this game, and who knows what it'll be like. But then also like covering a game like this is actually this isn't really having anything to do with the fun factor of the game, but it's like, you know, a racing game is just a lot easier to prepare for. Like, oh, I just do a bunch of races and, you know, I don't have to like,
especially in this era.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's like 6 tracks in a lot of games, you know, I don't have to solve puzzles or like sit through cutscenes. So, I love games like that, but it's nice to like, these are almost like they kind of break up some of our big tentpole releases.
It's a lighter commitment.
Yeah. So I I look forward to them, honestly. And a little peek behind the curtain, you know, I have like a spreadsheet. I thought this was really fun. I have like a spreadsheet where I keep, you know, all our games and the release dates and who are potential guests. And I asked you, Adam, to send me a list of games you'd be interested in talking about. And I was going and I was entering them, and pretty much like 99% of the games, no one else had submitted like they'd be interested in talking about it except for Andrew. So I was like, oh, this is cute. Like,
yep. There's a reason why we found each other. Yeah.
Oh, that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Well, cool.
That is, in fact, how we met. I put out that Ridge Racer album in 2018, and then like I got a DM from some guy that was like, I have a racing game podcast. Do you want to be on it? And I was like, that sounds cool. I should listen through these to make sure that you're not, you know, a lunatic. And then I did. And,
you always got to do that. Yeah.
I just have to point out a quick aside. The other day I was listening to an episode of Flashback that I think it was the Quake episode. That, of course, you were on, Andrew. And before the episode started, you know, I'm listening to the theme song. I'm like, God, I really like this theme song. I wonder who did this theme song. And I don't know why it never occurred to me that it was you. And I was looking through, like, you know, the show notes or whatever, and I see your name. I'm like, God fucking damn it. This guy's so talented. He's always there.
He nailed it.
Yeah.
Thanks, babe.
Yeah.
He nailed it. And by this point, our second season of Winter is out, where we cover Wii games in the winter. And Andrew did a fantastic theme song for that as well. So
it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Thank you. In person, thank you. I guess in person.
No, thank you. Thank you.
Whereas in person as it gets in 2025, you know. Well, yeah, I highly recommend people go listen to Time Extend podcast. You know, you've covered, you know, if you like our show, you've covered some N64 games, but also just, you know, cool racing games in general outside of the Nintendo 64. And people should go listen to Silent Discographer, where right now you're going through the REM discography, which that kind of overlaps with our purview. You know, we cover pop culture and stuff from the time, and we've definitely had REM show up on the charts and stuff like that. So I think people
are very much in the same time frame right now as well.
Yeah, we are.
I think that late 90s, early 2000s area.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
We've managed to rope Andre into this ridiculous endeavor as well.
Yeah, it's a great show. Ebo the Letter, that was on a chart not too long ago.
Oh yeah, wild.
Great song. My favorite REM song.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Maybe the dumbest thing they could have picked for a single
if you
at the
hear
moment
it,
in terms
it's
of
like,
commercial viability, but it rules. I don't know.
That song is just like this.
Shout out to Patti Smith.
Yeah. That song is just, this does not belong on the radio. But the unlikeliest like superstar rock band ever made it a single, and there it was. So
feels like at that point they could kind of do whatever they wanted to.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, speaking of, you know, stuff from the time, let's go ahead. Let's do our flashback segment. AeroGauge is another game where the release date I had on like the chart that I pulled everything from was different than release dates I was seeing elsewhere. So this might not even be accurate. I had April 30th 1998, but then I looked it up like on another site and it had it as like a month later, which happened with our last episode. So whatever. We're in the game releases are weird at this time, I think.
Yeah.
I personally like to imagine that this game just manifested itself out of nowhere. Like, no disrespect obviously to the people who worked on it, but like it's just like more interesting to me if this game just like was created by some like otherworldly dimensional being, because that's how it feels.
In some ways it almost did. We'll get into it later.
It was sent from the future, I think, is what happened.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's so whatever. We're gonna say April 30th. Not, whatever.
Sure.
And
Works
really,
for me.
It's fine because we're actually not moving too far ahead. Our last era we were in was April 27th, so only a few days later, supposedly the same day, as our next 2 episodes too. So we're gonna be hanging out here for a while. Not a lot has changed, so I'm gonna dig a little bit deeper into the charts and point out a few things that was going on, because our number 1 song is still Too Close by Next, which that's great. It's on its second week at number 1. It's been on the chart for 12 weeks. That's an undeniable jam though, so that's cool.
Wow.
We've gone on. I'll spare us. We've gone on and on about the Titanic soundtrack. So instead, I just want to point out that the album Savage Garden by Savage Garden is at number 4, and it's been on the chart for 53 weeks. And we pointed out earlier in the year, Truly Madly Deeply was at number 1 back in January. It's still holding strong at number 7, 22 weeks on the chart, and it's there for ever. So just wanted to shout out that song because it's an important song to my childhood.
That was one of the albums I remember when my brother like moved out and went to college and stuff, and then later I was like a teenager. I was like going through his like the CDs that he didn't take with him, and one of them was the Savage Garden, the one Savage Garden album with the black and white cover. So didn't listen to that one very much, but
fair enough.
It was a thing.
I mostly just know that
somewhere Andre is seething at you.
Yeah. Well, he can do that. He always does.
I'm gonna look out for that CD next time we go to the Antique Mall. We'll play that a few times. Okay, we're also in this week. This is this illusion where it seems like the big hit is a really popular movie. It was number 1 for this one weekend, and that's just where we are. We're stuck in this week. Other movies that are high on the box office, we got Titanic, City of Angels, The Object of My Affection, which I'd never heard of. It's a movie.
The Crow City of Angels? Like the weird
City of Angels,
sequel?
the Nicolas Cage, Meg Ryan movie.
Wait, okay.
The one that produced Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls.
Goo Goo Dolls.
Yeah.
And Arms of an Angel has kind of popped off from there. So how about that? So there's The Object of My Affection, which I had never heard of, but it's a movie starring Paul Rudd and Jennifer Aniston. Weird. Okay. There's Polly, which I think was a Disney movie about a parrot. And
that sounds familiar.
And Mercury Rising, a Bruce Willis joint that I'd never heard of, and I kind of want to watch that one. Well, McKenna, you read the synopsis, and there might be some problematic elements to it.
What? But. No.
I'm sure with the way mental health has been portrayed in media.
Yeah. But I'll look out for the VHS tape, and maybe we'll find out. We'll find out for ourselves.
Yeah.
On April 3rd, a code will be broken.
Impossible.
A child will be threatened.
There must be nothing that connects the boy to this office.
And one man must stand alone.
A 9-year-old cracked the government super code
against the power that is meant to protect us all.
This is national security.
Get down! From the producer of Apollo 13 and Ransom. Get down! Bruce Willis. No! Mercury Rising, rated R. Now playing at theaters everywhere.
Okay, video games. Again, I'm not sure about these actual release dates, but around this period, Might and Magic 6, The Mandate of Heaven.
Okay, sure.
Hot Shots Golf, aka Everybody's
Okay.
Golf.
Oh, yeah.
And Breath of Fire 3. These all were released in this time period, so
All right.
Cool.
Games, video games. That's what was going on in the other consoles. In our other episodes, actually, Andrew, you're going to be on one of these. Forsaken 64 dropped around this time, and Bust-A-Move 2 Arcade Edition also dropped around this time. So, not too bad to have a Nintendo 64, nice. I guess.
Yeah. I'm thinking about it, I think the only golf games I've ever played in my life are Nintendo games. Between Wii Sports and Mario Golf on the N64.
Sure.
That was it. So, yeah. Who's Tiger Woods? Never heard of him.
My dad had some like golf game for the PC that I played a bunch, but I don't even know if it was like a Tiger Woods game. It might have been, but yeah, I haven't spent a lot of time in golf games, I will say. And like, the Golden Tee trackball. That was pretty sweet.
Oh yeah, that was a thing.
Go play Virtual Highlight on the Saturn. That's the secret best golf game.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm down to try it.
It's a big stupid action RPG that they built in the engine that they made for Pebble Beach Golf Links or whatever. So it's a like digitized photo mid-90s golf game engine that they tried to turn into an open world action RPG.
Wow.
On the budget of about, I don't know, 45 yen. It rocks. I love that game.
That sounds fascinating.
Okay. So
the Sega Saturn is a beautiful, beautiful
disaster.
Wonderful treasures.
I would like to actually play one. So I've never even played one, and we're eventually going to talk about Saturn games on the show, like we've done with Genesis and PS1 and whatnot. But like, I feel like I'll never truly experience it till I like physically hold a controller and like, so I don't know. That's like a dream of mine, is to play a Sat. I've played a CDI, but I haven't played a Saturn.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, that was a magical experience the first time I ever played CDI, but that's another story. Okay, since we're kind of stuck in this period, I went deeper, and I went to our library's website and was like looking at like where you have access to like old newspaper, archives and stuff. And I wanted to pull like something, different things from the time. I want to say something fun, but I also pulled for other weeks where we're hanging out in this week. I pulled like more serious stuff, but this one's just a silly thing that I found. Actually, I have the link to an ad for this thing. I'll post in the chat, but I found this from a New York Times article by Michael Marriott that says, Newswatch, a video game chair adds bumps, shudders, and crashes.
Oh my God.
It is about the Intensor gaming chair. No, it's not a lazy boy for aging rock stars. Instead, it is the Intensor, a video gaming chair designed for an electronic age that is increasingly being defined by the hyper-competitive likes of Sonic the Hedgehog, Crash Bandicoot, and Lara Croft. Set to be revealed at June at E3. Retail price $300 to $600. So, does anybody know or remember the Intensor gaming chair?
I know of it as just like a thing that people have pointed out on the internet over the years as just like, hey, like, gaming accessories were very strange in the 90s. Up there with like the Sega Activator or whatever. That weird chair thing that Norm the Gaming Historian did a video about for the NES that uses like a little ball bearing that just rocks around in there to hit. But whatever, never mind. Go ahead.
I was going to say this like just immediately reminded me, it's not the same thing as the Activator at all, but it's like such a bad idea that I'm surprised it wasn't Sega's from this time period. Yeah, that's weird. I love that it looks like there's a like subwoofer attached to the seat as like some kind of like butt kicker type thing, and which they do for like they'll do that for racing simulators, like really high end racing sims and stuff like that. But this is just like a freaking office chair.
Would you send this, McKenna?
It's not. It's the sub is a separate box next to it, I think.
Yeah,
it's not my kind of gaming chair.
No,
I gotta like put my legs up.
It's not my brand.
You put your legs on the subwoofer. So one thing I just thought was like, people talk about how, and we've talked about it, like advertisements for so many games, like remember like the Star Fox advertisement that like was like a barf bag, and it was like, this game will make you puke or whatever. Every bit of this ad that I sent to you guys, like every inch of this is talking about how this chair will whip your ass. But it's like, like there's everything.
It's like medical advice for like whiplash.
Yeah. Shock. It's been known to induce shock.
There's just this image of a screaming mouth. There's a part that says, remember, in this chair, no one can hear you scream. But it's like, I sort of get it from the game perspective, even though like that, I know that doesn't appeal to everyone, but who wants to be like, yeah, I want to sit in the chair that whips your ass while I'm gaming.
Yeah.
I want to drink the lemonade that kills you while I sit in the gaming chair that puts you in the
now
hospital.
we're talking. Yeah. I'm into that. If I could get like an IV.
Yeah. Everything
Anyway.
from this time period was just like, yeah, this game's going to kick your ass. This chair's going to kick your ass. Like, and it's so funny now because now it's all like, now we're all into like ergonomic shit, right? With our gaming chairs. But this one was literally supposed to make your life miserable.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I wouldn't want to play it. I wouldn't want to play AeroGauge in this chair, I'll say.
Hey everyone, my name's Darren Hupke. I'm a writer, publisher, and podcaster. My podcast is called Pixels and Polygons. Each week I sit down with a guest and ask one simple video game question. It's a random topic each week and it leads to a fun conversation. You can find it on your favorite podcast platform every Friday, and you can read more about it at pixelsandpolygons.net.
AeroGauge is a futuristic aircraft racing game in which players get to choose from 10 different vehicles to race through twisty turns and tunnels and fly over and under various obstacles. Each vehicle, 5 of which are available from the start and the rest of which are unlockable, has its own stats for speed, steering, acceleration, stability, shield, and aero limit, as well as a unique pilot. You'll get to choose from 6 courses and play through a Grand Prix, single match, or time attack, or against another player in versus mode. Choose an aero machine and fly through the tubes of Bikini Island or the neon lights of Chinatown in AeroGauge.
AeroGauge. So yeah, this was December 19th, 1997 in Japan. Developed by Locomotive Co., who did previously almost nothing but Star Tropics, and then a lot of Virtual Boy games, V Tetris, Virtual Fishing, and SD Gundam Dimension War.
Yeah, so that was the thing. I wanted to know who the hell made this thing.
Yeah.
And I ended up throwing away the sheet of notes that I set up because the answer is like, it's not nobody, but it's a bunch of people that were here for this company that did a bunch of support work on things like they did support work on Star Tropics and then a few other games.
Oh, support work.
And
okay.
They made this and a couple others. And they made a few Virtual Boy games, it looks like, on contract, and then just disappeared. And almost none of those people remain in the industry. There was one environmental designer that is at Capcom, does like Street Fighter environmental level design art now. That's about all I could find. Otherwise, it's a lot of people that have just kind of vanished off into other lines of work that are not nearly as publicly visible.
I did see that we'll talk about the manual, but I was looking up at the manual artist, and they had a lot of credits, so their work kept them busy.
Right on.
Yeah.
So this was this is published by is it ASCII? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, they published a ton of stuff, so I don't know if this might be our first game we've played that they've published, but yeah. So Adam, you said this was part of like when you're kind of rediscovering the console.
Yeah. So my local video game rental store when I was a kid, there were a bunch of games that like I rented so many times that like at a certain point it would have been like more like financially smart for my parents to just buy them for me. This was not one of those games though. I remember I did that a lot with like Extreme G, for example. I really liked Extreme G. I might have done it a few times with MRC, but AeroGauge, I feel like we rented once and I didn't get it. And I'm realizing now like why I didn't get it. But it didn't go down very well. And then years and years and years later, I was like, oh, I should actually try and like revisit this game. It's cheap. And I did, and I still didn't like it. And only in playing it now for this podcast have I actually learned how I'm supposed to play the game. And that really only helped me win at like the easiest level. And I still am really bad at it. So that's where I stand right now with AeroGauge.
That was basically my experience as well. Like I tried really, really hard to like, because that's well, McKenna, what did you think of it? I know it's not really your cup of tea, but
yeah, mainly because I don't like how the drifting works.
Yeah, I think that's the main issue with the game. Yeah,
I think that's a universal.
Yeah. You know, it's cool that they fly, and it's like it feels like it could be a lot of fun. I just don't like how it controls.
Yeah.
Other than, you know, when I'm not doing it's okay when I'm not doing the sharp turns. The tubes are kind of fun to fly through. I
love the tubes. Yeah.
I never do it how I'm supposed to, which is, fly straight through. I'm always, flipping around in it.
Just let go and ride it.
Which is kind of fun.
That's where I'm doing the most boosting, honestly. The manual or whatever said the opposite. They're like, you want to stay normal in the tubes.
With Nintendo Power.
I was I go hog wild in the tubes.
The tubes.
Yeah, I go nuts in there.
Mm-hmm.
If there's one thing I know about you, is you go nuts in the tubes.
So like the way we normally tackle a lot of games like that aren't like story-based games, we might like pass it back and forth or whatever, but a lot of these like McKenna will do more of like research stuff or like try to find fun tidbits about the game, and I will just like, I guess especially a game like this or in our last game, the baseball All-Star Baseball 99, I'll just try to be like, okay, well, how do you get good at this game? By that, because in this era, like get good is like get competent at the game.
Yeah.
So I was like really trying to figure out. I was trying different things like how do you just like even be okay at this? And I got it okay in like a couple levels and stuff, but it just the baseline difficulty of this is very hard.
Yeah, because you can like you can get through the novice championship because the game is 3 difficulty levels. You can get through the novice championship and do a little bit of boosting and win. And not even if you qualify first, like it's not terribly difficult. You still have to do some boosting because if you don't do the drift boost, then you'll just finish like at the back almost every time. But then you don't unlock anything that way. You don't actually progress in the game that way. So it's like they really trick you. And then once you go to like the intermediate difficulty where you can actually start like unlocking things, the difficulty curve is just the wall. Like the game becomes impossible. I mean, I was nowhere near winning that intermediate championship. And at a certain point, like, I feel like I kind of went into it like you, Goo, as far as like, I'm just going to try to get good at this. And when I felt like that was not within my capabilities, I was like, okay, let's go read the instruction manual, and then found all this other shit. That's weird.
That's where the fun is. Yeah. Andrew, what's your like history with this game?
I think Adam told me about it.
Okay.
Like years and years ago.
Wow.
I don't remember if it was Time Extend related or not, or if it was just like when you were bequeathing wisdom upon me of the weird N64 racing games that you found. This is one of the ones that I picked up and was very perplexed by, and I don't think I even understood any of the drifting stuff until returning to it for this episode. And yeah, like we were digging into that one Game Facts that someone posted a while back that was still like years after the game came out that was like, hey, I think I figured out how this works.
It kind of helped.
Oh my God. Yeah.
It did. It at least, I learned how to do the boost at the start of the race at least. And I sort of understand theoretically how the drift boost works, but my consistency in pulling it off is very, very low.
Yeah, real quick, big thank you to Who Was Phone 404 on GameFAQs, because if not for you, I don't know if any of us would be able to talk about this game right now.
I would say like 75%
of Who Was Phone in a long time.
So many games we've been saved by the GameFAQs. So
yeah. Oh my God.
It's still a valuable resource.
Yeah, and I should also say that like part of why this game like stuck in my psyche, even though I wasn't good at it, is because the box art is like amazing. It's really pretty. And like, you know, back in the day, like that conveyed so much of your like first impression of a game. And like the cool ship on the cover and everything, it looked just like the one in the game. And like it was really cool box art. And then you go into the menus and like, I'm sure Andrew can talk at length about this, but like the UI and the menu design is just gorgeous. Like I call this one of those, like there was like this weird like time frame where like a bunch of racing games came out that had like really weird, vague Evangelion aesthetics, and this was one of them.
I was gonna say Evangelion Extremely just came out.
Just like hardcore, like here's all these like charts and weird words, and like we're in the future, and it's kind of like a fucked up future, and it's
shout out to Manx TT Superbike.
Yeah. So this game had all those vibes going for it. And that's why it was so hard to admit that I didn't like playing it very much.
Yeah, like I said in the chat, like I'm trying to appreciate it, because this is, I think, what do you think, McKenna? I think we'll really settle this in our Patreon bonus show where we like put a number on this. But this might be the biggest disparity we've had between how fun the game is versus how cool it is.
Oh, yeah. I can see that.
Yeah, all the vehicles are really cool looking.
Both the design, yeah.
There's a Chinatown that's like a neon city. That's I'm easily impressed like by neon cities. If you have that, I'll probably like it.
It's like 99% neon lights.
Yeah.
It's made up of neon lights.
One of the unlockable vehicles is an N64 controller, and you can choose your color. And
I got a lot of options for the color.
Really cool. I was playing it and I was like, this kind of feels wrong. Like I'm cheating or something, but in a good way.
We use the Game Shark.
Okay,
to get
so I have a big question about the N64 controller, because no one exactly knows how you unlock that vehicle. It's not by winning anything. All of the like GameFAQs cheats, whatever, say that you have to get a lap time ending in like 0.064 of a second. But people have done that and say that it still doesn't work. Now, when I rented the game when I was a kid, I remember it had that controller, which isn't weird because like N64 games, I don't know, it's a rental and it could save, you know, the progress on the cartridge itself. But within like, I don't know, a half hour of me playing the game this time, fresh with no save, I unlocked that thing and I don't know how I did it. I tried to like retrace my steps and I just like couldn't figure it out. And it's like that in a nutshell is like how weird this game is.
Yeah, I have no idea, because like I said, we just Game Sharked it, because I was like, I was reading like to unlock all these things, it was like beat it on expert difficulty and all this stuff. I'm like, not going to do that. So let's just see what they all look like. I guess I want to just more. I know we've kind of hampered on it, but I want to kind of describe the drift boost, because I just like how it works, because just so people like can kind of understand, because I don't know, I feel like it is a little convoluted. Basically, it's like you have your you have your accelerate button and you have your drift button, and when you're going into a corner, you can hit this button to start drifting, but then while you're still holding the drift button, you have to take your hand off the acceleration or your thumb off and then hit it again to get the boost. But if you do it, like there's like a specific time you have to do it in the turn, but it's like really hard to read. And if you do it too early, you come to a halt. If you do it too late, you come to a complete halt, and you basically like cannot catch up.
Yeah.
If you fail
drop
like
out of the sky
twice, you're done for, even on the easiest difficulty. And then on the flip side, like it's basically required though to like keep up, as Adam kind of mentioned. So it's like one of those things where it's like one of the biggest like that feels bad moments of like all the games we've covered, because when you fail it, especially if you're playing through like the Grand Prix, it's like, well, now I'm just gonna get 8th. There's nothing I can do about it. Because I've had that where I failed it like twice, but then like the rest of the race, you know, I was getting a bunch of boosts, and I just came nowhere close to even getting 7th place, and it was like, ugh, this is demoralizing. So,
and you'll like string together a couple of good ones, and then like on the last lap just fuck one up, and then that's it. That's your race gone. And it's like, it's so this game is so punishing, because not only is that very punishing when you fail a boost and you just stop and you fall, but on the flip side of it, if you execute the boost properly, there's a limit, kind of almost like an Excite Bike 64 type overheating element, that like if you do 2 or 3 boosts in a row, your craft overheats. And it's not like you can't boost again for like, you know, 5 seconds or 10 seconds. You can't boost again for like a whole lap. So like if you overheat, you are screwed. So this game is like, if you want to be good at it, you have to play in this like really like tight envelope of skill that's just like, it's just so frustrating.
I think flying through the waterfall tunnel in the Bikini Island track will cool you down a la Anthem. But I can't actually confirm that.
It's also, the health might actually make that the overheat like diminish quicker. I didn't think to try that, but yeah, that's...
Yeah, I don't even understand how the shield system works in this game. Like
just
at
you
all.
hit things and it just, you take damage like you're playing 1080 or something, but you can heal, or F-Zero, but you can heal yourself. So...
Yeah, I was never really in damage of blow. I didn't run into stuff like enough to where it was an issue. So I was like, that was like kind of the opposite problem, where I'm like, this really isn't a factor.
You were simply styling on them too hard.
Well, no, I was getting crushed is the thing. I like the idea of like the overheating thing, like that risk reward, like you got to manage your boosts, but then like the boosts I think need to be easier to pull off. Like, why not just let me, if I'm drifting and I hit accelerate, regardless of what angle I'm at in the turn, just let me boost. You know what I mean? And that would, I think, be an acceptable middle ground there. I don't know.
Well, I mean, right there, if you compare it to F-Zero, boosting is as simple as pressing a button, and to do it, you sacrifice your health. So that's like a very simple system that everyone can explore the second they start playing the game. AeroGauge is just this like weird arcane, like figure it out for yourself. And so it's a very different kind of thing.
Do you think like maybe some of it is like, we've seen this in some of the other games we've covered, where it's like, well, we have to be different from F-Zero. We can't just do the same thing as F-Zero.
Yeah, so that was the other thing when I started, like the first time I played this game, was I was just surprised that this was a racing game with like hovercrafts or whatever, anti-gravity machines, and you had full 3-dimensional movement. I mean, that's something that I don't know if we've really emphasized yet, but that's the main difference between this and a game like F-Zero or Wipeout, because you're not just moving left to right, you're moving up and down, and the courses like give you a lot of like range in terms of how high or low you can go. And one thing I noticed when I was watching video of people who are actually good at this game playing it is like, you know, we're all used to like seeing speedrunners or whatever, like really proficient players like break the level geometry or something, but like they're basically like boosting off of bankings over like mountains and things like aspects of the track that like I didn't even
breaking
think,
corners,
just like completely cutting
like
corners,
clipping through stuff,
in ways that I didn't even realize were possible. It's like, okay, well, if you do that, then I can see how you could beat the AI. But I mean, it takes a lot of effort to know where to do that and how to cut it just right. And even like the easiest track in the game, in that first canyon track, after you come out of the first tube, they put all of these like rock sort of, I don't know what you would call it, just like connecting these two canyons. They have these rock bridges, I guess is what you would call it. They have like 3 of them. And that was like, it's the easiest track in the game. And I just kept hitting them because I was going too fast and I couldn't get around them. So, it just, I don't know. They definitely like clearly were trying to go for something different, but I think this game is just the floor is so high.
It's a little too mean.
It's a little too
mean.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of F-Zero, McKenna, I know you were just pulling like the feature from Nintendo Power where they talked about it, and it's Nintendo Power, so we of course have to take everything with a grain of salt. But they were kind of like talking
state sponsored media here.
Yeah.
High praise for this game,
and what they
compared it to F-Zero.
They're like, it's not just another F-Zero.
Yeah, they were saying, they said, you might think this looks like F-Zero, but this game has aircrafts. They don't just hover, they go all the way up in the air.
Yeah.
And they did encourage you to like fly. Like they said, like going higher, you would move faster or something, which I never really noticed.
I think it says that there and in the manual.
Yeah, when you're close to the ground, you can't hit like top speed. Or really get close to it. So, because that was one of the things I was like, what if I just like stay as close to the ground as possible? Because I can wrap my head around moving left to right more than all directions. And they don't let you do that. So,
what was actually, we were just wondering, there's all the different stats you have, and one is arrow limit.
Yeah.
We're trying to figure out what that is.
It's really complicated. So according to and I never completely wrap my head around all of these either, but according to our trusty friend on GameFAQs, the arrow limit is the speed that the machine needs to reach in order to go airborne.
Oh.
But it seems like they all
that important.
Yeah, it seems like they all go airborne like basically as soon as you start accelerating. So I don't know.
Great.
Yeah.
It's a useless stat. Okay.
Thanks for nothing.
Well, that's basically the gameplay. Like I said, I think just in terms of we were talking about how I go nuts in the tubes. It was because when you're in the tubes, I could just like start doing the drifts and boost, and it doesn't matter if you like. I'm not too worried about like turning too far because the tube will guide me. So I would just anytime I was in a tube, I would just go drift crazy.
The tube will provide.
Whereas like the other levels where you have like long straightaways and like everyone's just like zooming past you, I'm like, how do I get a boost going right now? Like I need to boost, but I can't. And it was like always risky to try to like do a drift boost on a straightaway. So the first two levels, since they were so tube heavy, like I got to a point with those where they were almost broken. Like I would get first on those, and no one would come close to touching me. But then the other levels, I could maybe sometimes get like 6th or 7th. So the balance fell off. Like, give me more tubes, man.
That's interesting because the tubes were a thing that kept
Tube me up.
messing with me because I feel like I would go too fast and then like collide with the tube itself as I'm on the wall of the tube.
Yeah, that can happen.
So I couldn't actually figure out how to navigate those properly, but
I just let it take you. Don't even try. Don't fight the current,
Yeah, just let it take you.
Okay, so but yeah, the vibe. We'll talk about the vibe. So that was cool. We talked about the menus are super sweet. When I finished when I got the credits, there was like kind of like a weird song that I felt like didn't match the vibe of like getting third place in a Grand Prix. It was like, it sounded more like a tragic backstory of like a RPG or something. I don't know. The music was kind of weird in this game, I thought. Like some songs were kind of bangers, some were not so much.
Yeah.
That's
weird.
I really like the intro song. That's the only song in this game I like, pretty much. Yeah, so.
This is the weakest part about the vibes, I would say. Other than too, I guess, like, this one suffered from, like, the draw distance or whatever, like, kind of being kind of nasty.
The fog, yeah. Especially when you're going that fast.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really going to hurt you.
Yeah, we needed some of the extreme G fog to, like, hide it a little bit more. Because it was, like, you could just see the level, like, constructing before your eyes, and it was weird. But we could talk about the manual now. Let's just talk about the manual, because that was the coolest thing about it. Adam, you said earlier, like the like amount of like detail in the manual.
Yeah.
It was something like it was undeserving.
It's insane. So like F-Zero obviously has a lot of backstory. Wipeout has a ton of backstory, and a lot of it, like especially in like Wipeout's case, it really does build the world, I think. And they worked with like professional graphic designers and stuff like that on that. And it really shows, and it's a cool world. This game, it's kind of all over the place, and the weirdest part about it is that it's pretty much all constrained to the manual. So like the history of the ships, the riders, the tracks, all of that, there's a whole page about like what this championship is and how it was formed. I guess if you're playing on like Tube TV back in the day and you didn't have great cables or whatever, you probably couldn't read it. But like the menus say things like Sky Step Asia 2065, which actually something I wanted to point out is that we are exactly 40 years away from the events of AeroGauge. So
Can't wait.
Start practicing.
Can't wait.
Now. But yeah, it's all like
get ready, everybody.
The vibes are conveyed in the menus and stuff in the game, right? But like all the history and there's just like some weird stuff in there. And I was reading that like a lot of it was translated for the instruction manual to English for like Europe and North America, which is really cool. But there was a certain point where they just like stopped, like they got through like, I don't know, like 7 of the ships, and then we're like, the rest of them we don't have room for, so forget it. Just strange.
My only thinking on that was I'm pretty sure the ones that are less detailed are the unlockable ones. So maybe it was a thing of like, because sometimes games would do this where like, we'll tell you about this, but we're not going to show you it. You have to earn it. I don't know. Andrew, you have a favorite lore tidbit from the manual?
Whatever that bit that Adam shared was about the like formation of Chinatown. It's just like the global like forces of capitalism being so terrified that they just like create an entirely new China off the shore of China for the sake of like
it's a lot of stuff like that, because like the rider bios or the driver bios they're not that different than F-Zero. It's like, oh, like this girl's like the teenage daughter of the CEO of the company, and the CEO just told his engineers like, don't kill my daughter, like weird funny stuff like that. But then you get to the tracks, which I want to talk about what they're called in the Japanese version too in a second, because they have weird names. But
oh, sweet.
The section in like the English manual that we can read, that I'm assuming was just translated because it reads like it was, like the first track, Canyon Rush, is just like reads, Canyon Rush under construction was designed specially for Skystep. It features a new type of layout called, in quotations, tube. This course has 2 tubes. And like, okay, whatever.
2 tubes.
I'm thriving.
But then you go down to the Chinatown track, which is like the most frustrating. The Chinatown tracks in this game are just so fucking hard and annoying. They look so beautiful. They like McKenna was saying, like they're gorgeous, but they're just like really tight.
It looks like the intro Perfect Dark.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So the backstory for that track is, after Hong Kong reverted to China, Great Britain and other leading Western European nations were searching for a new free trade zone. They invested a colossal amount of money in the construction of an artificial island off Shanghai, and it is there that Chinatown is located. The idea was to build an urban course like the one in Monaco. The decision to hold races there was influenced by the enthusiasm of all of the residents of Chinatown. So it's like they like spend all their lore on this one track. And it's really weird.
Put all their points in Chinatown.
Yeah. So I don't know. When I started to like peel back those layers, I didn't even know were there. It was very entertaining for me personally.
You had some thoughts about the manual too, right, McKenna?
That one in particular just made me laugh reading it. I was like, I can't believe they put this much thought into this track and how it's lore.
They talk a lot too about like Asian countries consolidating.
Yeah, it says the races are held in various sections of Asia where many nations have merged.
All right, there you have it, folks.
Yeah.
Well, a little bit of flashback lore. I mean, stuff like this might have been on people's mind too, because it was 1997 when Great Britain gave up control of Hong Kong. So
it's
like topical.
Oh, that's right. For some reason, I keep thinking that was like earlier, like closer to the Berlin Wall thing.
Okay.
No, yeah, it's like it's probably like while they're making this game that happened. So
that makes
like,
a lot of sense. Thank you for bringing that up. I completely didn't realize that.
Yeah, and they talk about Neo Arena also gets like this huge block of text where they're talking about the cities of that. I don't know. I would like to know more about Bikini Island. Again, they just talk about the tubes. Like, tell me more about Bikini Island.
Well, they got the important part.
Well, first of all, as a someone who loves the first like 3 seasons of SpongeBob, great that there's a track named Bikini Island in this game.
Yeah,
just amazing. The names of the tracks, so the names of the ships and the tracks are different in the Japanese version, and I think the tracks are probably more interesting because the 2 unlockable tracks are basically like Chinatown and Neo Arena, but like modified slightly. Mm-hmm. In the English version, the unlockable version of Chinatown is called Chinatown Jam. In the Japanese version, both Chinatown tracks are called, and I'm gonna pronounce this wrong, but Chinois Polis. It's got that like NOIS, but it's like Chinois Polis 15124, and the other one is 433. Like, it's just so weird. And then the Neo Arena tracks are called Earth Cream Circuit and Earth Cream Jam. And I was reading that that's
cream.
Yeah, and I was reading that that's because apparently like earth and ice sound similar in Japanese or something. So it was like a pun. But
so
I just love like Earth,
ice cream.
Earth Cream Jam. Like, it's such a weird name.
I love multilingual puns. Like, it's so weird.
My favorite bit from the manual here is when they're talking about Hornet, the machine, and the opening line talking about it is, "This Aero machine is sponsored by Emuya, a Kyoto company that manufactures the refreshing sports drink Power Jungle."
Yes.
Which is the sickest name for an energy drink I've ever heard of. So,
and you can read it on the side of that ship. All the sponsors are actually mentioned like in the instruction manual. That is a way in which the lore actually ties in. Like, you can see those like names and sponsors, and that kind of feels like very Wipeout-y. So that's pretty cool.
And that's actually, that reminds me of one other thing I want to point out is former guest on the show, Leo Burke, in his Auto Museum 64 that he made, where you can go and view a lot of vehicles from the Nintendo 64 that he pulled out of the games. You can look at the aero machines that are in there, and pulling some of the like artwork from them. They were able to pull out some messages that are like written on the aero machines from the developers.
That's right, that was this game.
Yeah, like little Easter eggs. So there's like smiley faces, but then there's also one where translated it says, "I hope this sells well," which is cute.
Oh my god. Yeah, I think some of those were added to Cutting Room Floor, because I saw some of them. And also that museum that he did is really cool, because I mean, for lots of reasons, but one of them, particularly for this game, is that like you never think about the scale of these vehicles, right, compared to like a car, but they're gigantic. Like he tried to like correctly convey the difference in scale, and it's like, wow, this is the size of an airplane. Okay, pretty funny.
Oh yeah. I guess I didn't think about that they are supposed to be like massive like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would also actually, while we're just kind of promoting things, because just as the week of recording this, our good pal Nick McConnell did a reading of the manual over on Instruction Derby, and I'm sure the VOD will be up soon.
Oh, awesome.
And I would highly recommend people go check that out, because like there's like so much. Like you could read like every paragraph about each character and their artwork that accompanies them. Like, it's fun to look at. And I would also just plug like reading the manual in general. I think it is the best part about this game, I think. Other than the menus, too. The menus and the manual.
Yeah, except you won't be able to find out much about that one Brazilian pilot because it literally says nobody knows who this man is or what he does or where he came from. It's like, okay, cool.
Yeah, it didn't really I was like, I guess it's supposed to be like, oh, he's mysterious, but it didn't really.
Age is just two question marks.
Don't really feel that with him.
No bio for the N64 controller.
Yeah, what the hell?
Which I can only assume
snubbed.
Means that the player is the pilot.
Oh.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So is there like a notes page? That's what they should have done is like on the notes page, be like, write your own bio.
So the controller is called, I think, it's not called control pad in the Japanese version. It's called like X Machine. And what's interesting about the Japanese version is that they'll put like the name of the vehicle in like kanji, but then above it they'll put like the sponsor and like a bunch of letters and numbers I think are supposed to be like the code, like the production code for this vehicle. And for the N64 controller, it's just like whatever Nintendo's product code was for it, like NOS or NUS, whatever, 4 digits. Yeah,
perfect.
So I thought that was pretty
cool.
free. Yeah,
that's a good detail.
So I mean, the game. It got mixed reviews. It's mostly, I feel like it is mostly kind of forgotten about, which is, I guess, kind of understandable. Yeah. I mean, one saving grace is, I think we played some, you can do local multiplayer, split screen multiplayer. And I think that's kind of fun because at that point, like you're on the same level, you know what I mean? Like no one's like perfectly executing boosts or whatever. So you can play it like poorly and you wouldn't know you're doing poorly, you know what I mean, if you're not doing the boosts. And so whatever, I guess that's kind of fun. I guess it's a little bare bones in that mode. Like, you know, I saw some reviews talk about how there's no like items or weapons or whatever, which I don't think is what would fix the game, but I could see if you're playing in multiplayer, you are like, well, what else is there to the game? You know, like, because I can't do the boost.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't have a battle mode or a party mode, right? That was all the rage. Even Extreme G had one. So
yeah.
Does the performance hold up in split screen? I didn't think to test that. Or does it?
I mean,
does it go GoldenEye on you?
It wasn't. No, it was. We played it once like that, and it was. I remember like that was like what we were trying to see, and I don't remember anything sticking out. Like the game already, I feel like it already has some, you know, issues, not with performance, but was just like we mentioned, like loading the whole level in. So
yeah, the draw distance is so short.
Like you're already kind of dealing with that. So.
It's only 2-player, right?
Only 2-player.
Yeah.
So
did you by chance start the game with only the second controller plugged in?
No,
because
is that a thing?
You get what a lot of N64 games had, where it says no controller. You need to plug a controller into the first port, and it is like it's one of those like some people really get like kind of haunted by these like plug a controller in messages that games used to have, but this one was like legitimately jarring because it just says like it's this like voice that's like very like shrill and robotic, and it's like no controller, and it just says no controller over the screen in like really weird font, and then it just has like a demo of the game playing itself. So I encourage everybody to do that because it's weird.
No controller.
I'm glad you mentioned that though, because I saw like I got like some random like YouTube short or something fed to me recently talking about some games, not this one, but some N64 games haunting no controller screen. And it made me think like, oh, we've never tried to do that for any game. And so I guess that's something we need to be looking at. Like, you know, we'll try to find all the cheats and whatever, like all the Easter eggs. We got to start just no controllering every game to see if there's anything fun.
Part of me wonders if like it was a requirement by Nintendo or something like that, because like it's not. Yeah, I tend to see it in relation to N64 games in particular, where people say like, "Oh, these had like screens that creeped me out as a kid." But yeah, I don't know. This game is definitely up there though.
All right, we're going to do a stream where we just go and we turn on every game we've already covered and see what comes up. McKenna, any other thoughts you had about the game?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think we got it all out.
Yeah, we basically covered it. Andrew said, like, this is not going to be a marathon length episode. There's not a ton to say beyond, the kind of difficulty and the cool vibes. But I don't know, Andrew, anything else that you wanted to say about the game?
It's a perfectly cromulent B tier mid to late 90s anti-gravity racer.
Yeah,
for sure. Adam, how about you?
Yeah, I like the again have to keep shouting out that one game facts because it's pivotal in my understanding of this game. It called it like legendary Kusoge, and I was like, that feels like it's harsh. That's harsh. It's not good, but there's something here that you will enjoy or just like will amuse you in the moment, whether it's the menus or the music or how weird everything is, or figuring out the boost one time before you give up in a rage. I don't know. It's weird. I'm happy it exists.
I like it. I have a fondness for it.
I do like it.
I'm not anti-AeroGauge.
And that's the thing. You want to love it. Like that, it's one of those games where it's like, it's not like,
it's got heart, damn it.
Yeah. It's like, there's character here. Like this could have been something. Yeah.
It could have been a contender.
Clearly someone working on multiple aspects of this game, cared about it enough to put some work in and make it we've played some really generic games, and this might be a little bit in the gameplay, but we've played other things where it was everything felt kind of phoned in or whatever.
Yeah.
And I don't know. This felt that even someone really cared about aspects of the manual. That's for damn sure. So
yeah, I know that the people who create the manual are not the same people who create the game, but it just seems maybe resources were allocated and kind of, we're kind of skewed towards the lore and less so towards other things.
That's kind of sick, though.
Well, that's resource allocation so much as just someone was like, I got some ideas I need to workshop, and I need somewhere to put them before I actually get into my novel. So
they should do that more with games, because that's one thing.
Use them as rough drafts for books.
I just mean let's just let someone go off in the manual, especially if the game isn't I was thinking a automobile Lamborghini would be a million times better if they just let someone spit in the manual,
That would be really funny too, because it'd just be all this shit that at that time Lamborghini wouldn't have approved. They would have just thrown it in there, and then would have been funny to go back and read.
Yeah, create characters and fake companies and energy drinks or whatever. Legendary Kusoge seems kind of mean because I feel like there's nothing about it that's oh, this is a total failure, There's just things I'm oh, I wish this was better.
Yeah. We're talking about performance a little bit, and it runs actually fine. You don't the popping kind of sucks, but it's consistent, which is rare for N64 racing games a lot of the time.
Yeah. Some of the levels that doesn't matter too, Chinatown.
Yeah. That
doesn't really matter because you're kind of indoors, When you're in tubes, obviously it doesn't matter. It's really the canyon and Neo City, I guess, where it really stands out.
Hello, we are Kirby Conversations, a podcast on Kirby, along with other adjacent subjects like Smash Bros., HAL Laboratory, and other related Nintendo games.
In each episode, we take an in-depth, well-researched look at a Kirby topic, drawing on our decades of experience playing Kirby games, creating Kirby-related content, and working in and around the video game industry. I'm Sean Douglas. I'm a theater and video game journalist.
And my name's Bridget. I'm an online Kirby commentator and collector.
Our team also includes photographer and Nintendo ambassador Kai Captain Dangerous Parker and Gigi, the editor-in-chief of Wick Kirby. Join us for deep dives into Kirby's history, interviews with industry professionals, and even inside looks at Nintendo, as together we explore all things Kirby and HAL Laboratory. You can find Kirby Conversations on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
I still had fun playing it. I had fun talking about it. And yeah, thanks to both you guys for coming on.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks for having me.
I already mentioned it, but our next episode we're going to be doing is on Bust a Move 2 Arcade Edition. Really looking forward to that one. And we talked about your podcasts, but in general, Adam, is there anything you would like to promote?
Yeah, I don't know when this is coming out, but at the moment it's December, and Time Extend doesn't have like an active audio podcast feed right now because we're kind of on hiatus. I'm moving things around and we're sort of relaunching things. So in the next couple weeks, I expect to get that going. I'm on like Blue Sky and all that crap. If you like cars, I am an editor at The Drive, where I drive cars and sometimes get them to let me post things about games like AeroGauge. And amazingly, I haven't been fired yet. So that's cool.
That's sick. Well, yeah, people should definitely expect to hear your voice some more on the show when we get to, like I said, a lot of these racing games that I had never heard of and no one else has expressed interest in other than you two. So
looking forward to it.
Well, we like to have our car expert on. That's great. It's good to have a guy, for everything.
Everybody needs a guy, especially like cars. You need a mechanic. You need a guy.
Yeah. I used to call on my dad, but he can't handle new cars now. He doesn't know what's going on with them.
Oh, I've never turned a wrench in my life. That's what makes my job so funny.
That's awesome.
Yeah. No idea what to do.
Andrew, always great to have you. What do you want to promote?
Just Elmore.zone on Blue Sky. Satellitesound.net will take you to my music on Bandcamp. Elmore.design is my portfolio. I just threw all my music up on Ampwall as well. So you can find me there. It's ampwall.com/a/. I guess. I don't know. That seems like a cool, neat new music platform that I literally just threw that up there today. So that's top of mind at the moment. But
it looks awesome. I just found out about it today, but it sounds sick. Check out Andrew's stuff. I think if you like something, Andrew has got something cool related to it.
We'll try.
Did you do an AeroGauge song on Digital Motorsport?
No.
Okay. Well, look.
Somehow. 31 tracks on that album. I missed this one.
I would believe it.
Do me a favor and go listen to the credits song and try to...
It
doesn't even sound like a racing song, but try to convey the emotions that
whatever's going on there. Yeah.
Rescore AeroGauge. The world is begging for it.
Yeah, everyone is constantly banging my door down asking for AeroGauge.
If I had unlimited money, I would get someone to just make it easy to boost and then have you redo the soundtrack, and it would be like a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, it'd be a great game. Be perfect.
Allow me to introduce you all to Hersolver, Japan-only PS2 game that is, what if this game actually was Kusoge?
Oh.
Actually, it might have had like a weird late European release through like Phoenix
it was called
Jet. But
it was called Jet Ion GP because I keep forgetting that game exists, and you reminded me of it. And I looked at gameplay. I'm like, well, this game also actually kind of has the vibes, but sucks way harder. It looks like to actually play. So
yeah, it's a big stinky turd. But
we're no strangers to really shitty PS1 games on the podcast, so we could always do that before.
Well, this PS2 game is
PS2.
worse. So, yeah.
Oh my god,
it has no excuse.
It should know better.
Okay, cool. Well, let's get out of here. Oh, we should also thank we got to thank our we got a new tier on our Patreon, our Triforce tier, where we thank you in the episode. So, thanks to Lee, our good buddy Lee, great guy. Yeah, also our number one Twitch viewer as well. So, we appreciate you. Thank you. Patreon.com/flashback64 if you want to support the show. McKenna, great job.
Great job, Goop.
And goodbye.
Bye.
I always forget how to end.
Do you find yourself playing older games and wishing that there were new discussions about those games? Enter Tales from the Backlog, Hi, I'm Dave Jackson, and on each episode, I'm joined by a guest to break down those games that may be stuck in your ever-expanding backlog. Each episode looks at one game in depth, focusing on mechanics, story, music, and other aspects with no spoilers until a clearly marked spoiler wall in the middle. If you've played the game, go ahead and climb that spoiler wall and enjoy in-depth story discussions, and if not, jump out when we warn you and maybe go play that game for yourself. We have over 100 episodes in the feed, everything from Disco Elysium to Tunic to discussion episodes about how to get into horror games, and if games actually need to be fun, or if they have more to offer. I guarantee that there's something in there for everybody. Once again, that's Tales from the Backlog, available wherever your podcasts are found.